be my best ability. Boah, dieser Stream, Alter. Was ist jetzt schon wieder los? Mann. Was ist das für eine Qualität hier überhaupt? Warum hakt es, wenn ich das auf höher stelle? Was für eine Rotze. Alter, ist da Riddick dabei mit seiner Brille? Das sieht einfach aus wie Riddick. Wenn diese. Was ist das schon wieder los, Mann? Was ist hier schon wieder los, Mann? Wird schon wieder aggressiv. Dreckstream. Wofür gibt man schon wieder Geld aus, Alter? Ohne Witz. Ja, Leute, der Stream ist ein richtiger Nuppenstream. Was soll ich euch sagen? Tut mir leid. Ich kenne leider keinen von den Leuten, die gerade auf der Bühne sind. Ich weiß nicht, wer das ist. Ja, Leute, das Beste ist, es gibt 300 Men's Physik-Athleten, Alter, und die Scheiße gebe ich mir nicht. Ich komme dann irgendwann um 17 Uhr wieder und mache dann die Men's Open. Die streame ich dann. Aber die Men's Physik kann ich mir nicht geben, da krieg ich zu viel. Das sieht auch nicht so toll aus. Sieht aus wie ein Amateur. Da hätte Dome Wolweit mal mitmachen können. Hier in der 212. Das ist ja nix, Alter. Massive Beine. Hoher Lat, bisschen wie Nathan. Sein Bauch sieht überhaupt nicht schön aus. Ich meine, der Kameramann macht doch einfach von vorn, dass man alles sieht einmal. Ja, genau so. Da kommt Riddick. Vin Diesel ist auf der Bühne. Dieser Kameratyp fuckt mich und boah, das gute Beine. Das ist ein Adduktor. Alter. Posing-Schrott sieht man direkt. Das ist nix. Schöner Beuger. Boah, was ist das für ein Adduktor? Von hinten brutal. Ist gut. So Angel Calderon. Ich glaube, der gewinnt auch. Sieht toll aus. Ja, sieht gut aus. Gefällt mir. Der macht bestimmt den ersten hier. Ohne die anderen gesehen zu haben natürlich, aber rein vom Namen her. Und ich bin auf den 21-jährigen Türken gespannt. Der sah auch brutal aus. Zumindest auf Instagram. Jo, das ist ready für einen Krieg, Junge. Krieg. Zum Herr. Dieser Kameramann killt mich. Wahrscheinlich die Redaktion, die dahinter sitzt, nicht der Kameramann selber, weil das sind ja mehrere Kameramänner. Aber die drehen daraus einen Hollywood-Streifen, Alter. Ja, toll sieht er nicht aus, auch von der Härte her nicht. Ja, der sieht auch nicht toll aus, zu wenig Muskeln. Das war's. Also Line-Up ist scheiße. Der ist schon älter, das sieht man. Sieht man an der Haut, sieht man an den Muskeln, sieht auch nicht toll aus. Muss man einfach so sagen, wie es ist. Nichts Besonderes. Derjenige fragt, ob Emir da ist, Alter. Du scheinst dich für den Sport sehr zu interessieren und du fragst, ob Emir in Dubai ist. Jetzt kommt der Jungstar. Junge, zeig doch von vorne den Jungen, Alter. Du Dreckskameramann, ohne Witz. Boah, schöner Beuger. Gar keinen Bock zu kommentieren, wenn ich so eine Kameraführung sehe. Schöner Arsch, also schön durchgestreift, Rücken auch. Dieser Stream geht mir auch richtig auf den Senkel. Ja, offline. Weißt du was? Fickt euch. Tut mir leid, Leute, was soll ich sagen zum Stream? Das ist nicht meine Schuld. 30 Euro Stream, Alter, 100.000 Euro Preisgeld und nicht mal einen Dreck-Stream schaffen zu machen, dass er ordentlich ist. Sorry dafür. Ja, Leute, was soll ich euch sagen, Alter? Zu dieser Scheiße hier. Boah, Leute, dieser Stream, ey. Wenn ich jetzt nicht streamen würde, ich würde einfach den Rechner zuklappen und weggehen, sorry. Auf einmal wurde aus dem farbigen ein normal. Oh, hier, der Simon ist jetzt drauf. Also von einem farbigen wurde jetzt ein deutscher. Und wieder offline. Ja, tut mir leid. Ben, Roller, Bruder, dein Schiff ist unterwegs. Deo-Roller kommt. Inshallah kommt er an. Ja, der kommt bestimmt, was ist denn das? Brutal für einen Inder. Oder für einen Pakistani oder so. Aber die Show ist echt nichts. Also 2-12 da hätte Dominik starten können. So, kommen wir zu den Callouts. Mal gucken hier.
This, the young prodigy, the 21-year-old Nihat Kaya, aided that first call out against the season lineup. Muhammad and Bobby, the other non-Olympian, in this first call out of 6. So no surprise.
So. Also letzte 2-12er Champion ist da, Angel ist da. Der Junge ist da, der 21-Jährige. Brutal. Richtig geil. Ich glaube, die switchen nochmal. 25, ja, genau. Die 25 switchen die nochmal, dachte ich mir schon. Eigentlich müsste noch den 1 switchen und reinnehmen. Den ganz außen. Mit der blauen Hose. Junge, die zeigen Zuschauer, anstatt dass sie die Posen zeigen. Da krieg ich schon wieder zu viel, Alter. Ja. Also Platz 1 und 2 stehen fest. Der Angel und der 21-Jährige, sein Pro-Debüt, ist einfach auf dem 2. Platz. Geisteskrank.
Marco Ruiz, 35, the Chicago Pro Champion. And we'll see how much dilly-dallying there's going to be, how much mixing there's going to be. But right now, it seems as if Marco Ruiz and Nasser Muhammad are going to be battling out for 3-4. Up the 60th year anniversary of the Mr. Olympia, and obviously so much history to be celebrated, so much excitement. What excites you most as we're very close now 3 months till the 60th year anniversary of the Olympia?
My first Olympia was in 1988. I never missed being there in some capacity. 13 years as an athlete, coming back as a commentator and sponsor, now as a consultant. I got to tell you, I've watched that show grow into the monstrosity that it is. It's really good. And Solid, the Olympic team putting that production on. It's a big deal. Going on potentially at 19 Mr. Olympia, or should Derek Lunsford win it again, remain with only 18 champions in the 60 years of the Olympia. So let's Big Sam's get together, or one of the guys, Big Brandon Curry, comes back and shocks the world. We'll still be with only 18 Olympians. It's very rare that someone comes out of nowhere and wins the contest and takes out 3 Olympia champions. Brandon Curry, Adi Shufan, of course Derek Lunsford. We have 3 Olympia winners in that show. Can anybody from anyone from the future, because there's still some qualifiers coming, or from the past, knock these 3 off? I'm not so sure.
You know, you look at the elevated quality of this last month from last year to this year again.
Ja, diese Vergleiche sind jetzt mega langweilig, also deswegen kommentiere ich da auch nichts. Ich finde die Klasse scheiße, muss ich euch sagen, wie es ist, die ist schlecht besetzt. Und der Angel sah gut aus.
Testament to how much the quality of the lineup is elevated, and the fact that you have 4 Olympia qualified athletes, it just shifts everything, the whole momentum, the whole vibe of this event.
Absolutely does. You know, we've got more depth because we have more bodies on the stage. I think you can attribute that to a couple of things. Obviously, the job that Beta Guy and Muscle Factor has done, bringing the prize money, bringing the expo with all the equipment people. This is a packed, sold-out audience here.
Er hätte Voivod ja echt gut dastehen können. Im ersten Vergleich. Der ist besser als alle, die da stehen.
Look, there's going to be the temptation to go to the open for the simple reason that somebody's body may not want to restrict. It wants to grow. They see it in their diet, they see it in their prep, they see it in their training, they see in the difference in time as they compete with Derek Lunsford. To cut down from going to say 230, 235, and now having to make weight at 212 and do so A in a safe manner, and B in a manner in which you're still going to put out a representative physique.
I think it's good for these athletes at 5'7", 5'8" to have options, and this is why we have over 20 athletes here today, because these guys are trying to go and become the next Derek Lunsford. Derek Lunsford challenge was, I've won the Olympia 212, now I'm going to go for the Open. He had somewhere to graduate to. These athletes will have somewhere to graduate to if their body can carry the size and the muscle. If they can't, they can become the master of their own domain. Lex Lewis, 7 times 212 champion, he mastered that. There was nothing to gain by going open because 212 was where he looked his best. I'm glad we have this division. We got a lot of great future athletes coming up on the horizon.
As we now have the top 5 back out on stage.
So, jetzt kommt die Top 5
All
nochmal.
right, so we're going to go
Das
straight to the
heißt
final four
Angel
here.
und der junge Kerl, Mann. Ich hab seinen
Nasser
Namen schon wieder
Muhammad,
vergessen.
Nihat Kaya,
Wie heißt der
Angel
Nihat?
Calderon, and Marco Ruiz left to right. And now Steve Weinberg is going to put them through the rounds. Sean Ray, take us pose by pose.
Calderon stands out because he's got the muscle maturity. I'm not a big fan of his midsection. I like the young kid, the 21-year-old. He's got a very athletic, pleasing, Reagan Grimes type of physique.
Sieht brutal aus,
You see
ja.
the youth in his physique
Sein
and the
Beuger
lack of muscle
von
maturity,
hinten.
but the lines
Mal schauen, jetzt
are drawing me to
Rückenposen,
his
noch Bizeps.
physique more than they are Angel's physique because it's a little more blocky, it's a little bit more thicker, and I like the lines of our 21-year-old.
Aber der 21-Jährige sieht gut aus, ey. Gefällt mir.
Mihat, I got to get that down.
Mihat.
Because we're going to hear from this kid. To me, he looks like the future of this division right here.
Brutal.
The thickness, though, of Angel Calderon is he's thick. He's kind of a Branch Warren
Ist
thick.
21,
Hear what I'm
ne?
saying,
Das ist
but
einfach
I'm
nur
not a
geil,
big fan
wie
of
er
his
aussieht. Wirklich
midsection.
feier ich
Because
unnormal.
it's a little more chunkier and blockier. However, when you get down to the quads and the upper pecs, he's
Man kann auch
really
gut posen.
thick. This is going to be a decision for our judges, which is another reason I don't like to judge.
Brutale
But I am a
Brust auch.
fan. And if I'm going to be a betting man, I'm going to be
Schöne
a
Pose.
fan. I like the future. I like the young kid.
Ich finde die Jungen auch cooler irgendwie. Gefällt mir mehr.
Well, there's going to be a day, it might be tonight, it might be sometime this week, that Nihat Kaya is going to watch this live stream and hear from the Hall of Famer Sean Ray that you can see him as the future of this division. In your opinion, can the 21-year-old in his pro debut pick off the 5-time Olympian?
Yeah, he looks really impressive. A young-looking, fresh physique versus a rugged, thickly muscled physique. That's where the decision's going to have to come down on the side of the judges. I'm all in favor of the future of the sport, and I like that young kid, 21-year-old, on his way. We're going to be getting ready to bring out our next category here. We have 4 divisions on tap to go through prejudging. And our stage expediters, climbing the mountain, our 212, has exited the stage. Voice of professional bodybuilding, Bob Chick, will be bringing out our men's physique with 41 competitors coming out in our men's physique pro championships.
We're going to see former men's physique Olympia champion Aaron Banks. He is the true headliner here in this division. There were supposed to be a lot of, when this lineup was announced, or when this show rather, Sean Ray, was announced, you had at least verbal Instagram commitments from some of the biggest names in all of men's physique. So, yeah, we have an open class, but there was at that moment seemingly almost half of the excitement in the fact that you're going to have a literal all-star lineup. Now, a lot of those names dropping out. Aaron Banks committing to this show, former men's physique Olympia champion, 2-time Arnold Classic champion, and he is certainly going to talking about the crowd here in Dubai and really in the Middle East. You see the popularity of the men's physique division. Many of the competitors are men's physique competitors in their own right. This is a division, it is a look that really speaks to the crowd here and the bodybuilding scene here in Dubai in the Middle East.
Yeah, I think this bikini in the United States is the fastest international division because I think it's more participatory. A lot of these guys are seeing just the health benefits by not getting so muscular. I also think we find that it's a little bit easier because they don't have to be defined by becoming a genetic wonder. Some of the bodybuilders, their genetics can carry them to be professional, right? So it's physique. You don't have to be a genetic freak. You got to be able to keep your body in condition. You got to master the art of the pose. There's only a couple of poses that you have to learn. Emphasis on the midsection, the shoulders, and the chest. But this division is fastly growing because there's more people that can actually do this than there are that have the time, dedication, or the discipline to bulk up, cut down, pack on muscle. Bodybuilding is a little bit more time consuming, where these guys can actually be involved in other aspects of sport, other aspects of life and work, and still look phenomenal on the big show.
And as you can imagine, being in this region and in many pro shows, as is the case, this is by far the most. As they take them out by group, as we get our first look at Aaron Banks taking the stage. Aaron Banks, tall, statuesque, big smile on his face, came out in the athletes meeting with the cowboy hat, a fashion icon in his own right, and truly, Sean Ray, one of the real personalities of this sport. In the vein of the Olympia champions that we currently have, he is a true credit, a true entertainer in this bodybuilding sport.
Yeah, I mean, back in the 90s, we had a lot of characters. There were bodybuilders that weren't Mr. Olympia that had big followings because they were characters. We had King Kamali, we had Craig Titus, and we had personalities like Big Paul Dillette and Lee Priest. They weren't just bodybuilders, they were personalities and characters. Aaron seems to wear the hat very well. Not everybody can stand out from a crowd because they've got a world championship style physique, but there's some people that rise to the occasion with the personality to match it. And that kind of sets Aaron aside from the rest, and you look for him. Not only do you look for him at the athletes' weigh-ins, but you look for him backstage at the show. When he comes out on the stage, he brightens the room. But that crown is heavy, and people are looking to topple him, humble him. And so he's got a big target on his chest when you stand out with a big personality like that.
Ryan Terry, of course, the reigning men's physique Olympia champion, and just weeks before the Olympia, Aaron Banks defeated by Kyron Holden, and that always brings up this discussion, Sean Ray, the discussion of direction, right? Because in the men's open class, we seemingly always dispel the notion of direction. However, men's physique, and I would go as far as to say with classic physique, it seems a little bit more evident. Well, I'd rather, classic physique seems to have a more clear direction. I can't figure out the direction here because, again, you talk about the contrasting physiques of a Kyron Holden, muscular, borderline open class-ish, and it's someone like a tall, statuesque, who really stands up because of his height, like Aaron Banks.
Yeah, well, I was there at that show in Daytona, Florida, and, oh yeah, Legions, I'm sorry. I saw Kyron win in Daytona, and he came to upset Aaron at the Legions, and so you just don't know from one show to the next. It's not a lock because you win a show that you're going to win the next. I give my hats off to Aaron for stepping up to compete in that contest because he brought a lot of popularity and notoriety to that show out in Reno, Nevada for Chris Maness, the promoter. I like the idea that he didn't play it safe. Yeah, he took a risk, but now you got to fight your way back up there. He's been on top, and he's also tasted defeat. And, you know, that's what's the beauty of this division is just because Ryan Terry is Mr. Olympia physique doesn't mean he's going to gain it again. I know Brandon Hendrickson wants that title. There are a lot of guys out there chasing that title. So there's really no defined look because there's so many good guys with so many different aspects to the men's physique that at any given day, we can have a different champion one weekend after another. I like the idea that they're able to compete more often than bodybuilders and we can see them in different places.
Going through the groups here, this by far the largest of the lineups here at the Dubai Pro. Sadiq Faruqi alongside Sean Ray. So glad you can join us on the Oxygen Gym platform. The Dubai Pro now in its 4th full year. Of course, the headline division, the men's open class in its 1st year here at the Dubai Pro. And the other thing about having the men's open class here in the Dubai Pro is, again, we talked about the regionality in the sense that you have countries like Iran where it is not as easy to obtain a U.S. visa, and in many cases impossible. We talked about, we'll see him later on in the show, Behruz Tabani, who is going to be going into his 3rd year as an Olympia qualified athlete, but has not, unfortunately, have not solved the bureaucratic puzzle of getting a visa to the United States. But this kind of a show allows for that kind of a platform. Dubai, one of the most accessible countries on earth in terms of visa accessibility. So it does give that kind of a platform to athletes where they would have difficulties, restrictions, competing in a lot of the other countries.
Well, what we're seeing here, you look at this lineup, they're from everywhere. Yeah. These aren't just people from Iran. I mean, they may have a hard time getting to the USA, but the people are coming out to Dubai. And the more international shows like this offering up very good prize money, you're going to wind up with that international Olympia flavor lineup. And when the athletes go back home to where they're from, whether it's England or Australia, New Zealand, America, they're going to tell them about the experience that they went through here in Dubai, one of the fastest growing countries out there next to Las Vegas. There's so many things here to do. The hotels are all in competition with each other. The infrastructure of this community and the plentifulness of all the different gyms. There's some incredible gyms, and everything that you can get in California, for example, or Las Vegas, they have it right here in Dubai. So it's becoming a destination for these athletes to come out here, make the trip, compete for great prize money, and show their physiques. I like the representation of all the countries that are actually involved with what's happening here in Dubai. And it shows you in 3 short years what Beta Budai and the Oxygen Muscle Factory have been able to do. I look back behind me and I don't see any seats available for sitting down. This is a standing room only auditorium as of right now, and our finals have not begun as we're making it halfway through prejudging.
It is incredible, Sean, because I just took a look back. I wish we could have our camera operator take a good shot of the crowd, but it is absolutely jam-packed in here. And, you know, speaking to some of the fellow American competitors, when we were talking at the athletes meeting, for the pros, for the NPC competitors, they did it backstage. For the pros, they had it here on the stage. They had a literal weight scale on the stage, and you know, you just saw some of their surprised reactions when they came into this room, saw the stage, saw the setup, saw the production, the literal camera cranes and everything, the VIP seats in the front. I mean, this is a first-class presentation. The production quality is just first class. And this is the kind of thing where, again, we talk about the Olympia. We talk about the Arnold Classic. We talk about some of the prestigious shows on an IFBB calendar. And then you have this show where people see the kind of a platform that they can compete on, the kind of a production quality they could be in front of. Obviously, a jam-packed crowd. Really, for a non-Olympia, non-Arnold Classic crowd, this may be one of the biggest of the year. So real credit to the Dubai Pro, the organization, the Oxygen Gym team, and everyone involved in bringing this kind of a world-class event here to Dubai and giving an opportunity for the athletes. As we're going through the groups here in the men's physique class. So far, 212 prejudging, the first to go, the first prejudging to be completed. have a special guest checking in at our table. The man who invented the magic mirror at Oxygen Gym, the freak himself, Ruli Winkler. Ruli, how you doing?
I'm doing very good.
Good to have you here, Ruli. You obviously been involved with Oxygen Gym so long, but known it as a gym, but now the job that they have done putting on this kind of a show, what are your impressions of what you've seen here at the Dubai Pro?
Till now, I see only the 212. Wow. I like it. The guys are big. They're all good. Not either one is they're all good.
Really tell us about what you've been up to lately. Obviously, you know, you were such a fan favorite during your competition career, a true mass monster in the sport of bodybuilding. What are you up to now?
Now, exactly nothing. Just trying to be healthy and everything. Just enjoy the world of fitness. That's all.
Are you still based in Kuwait, or are you back in Curacao?
No, I'm back in Curacao. I feel good to be in the Middle East back again and feel home. After this, I go back to Kuwait just to say hi to the guys and back home. I have a little boy now to care about that. Just after this, I go back home, Curacao.
Talk to us about your work in the fitness scene in Curacao. Are you working in any gyms? What kind of fitness activities have you been up to in Curacao?
Exactly, I'm busy to get my own gym in Curacao, and hopefully soon I can invite everybody from all the country to be in my gym, in the Beast Gym.
What's the name of the gym?
I don't get it yet, but soon you will hear it.
I love it. Are we gonna expect to maybe have a show one day in Curacao hosted by Ruli Winkler?
We will see. I hope so.
Well, Ruli, good to see you. Good to see you have a smile on your face. It's always great seeing you at these big events. You bring such positive energy, such positive vibe to all this. Continued success, continued health, my friend.
Thank you, bro.
So, of course, joined by the mass monster himself, Ruli Winkler. Sean, you take a look at Ruli. I mean, very healthy looking. He's obviously downsized. I mean, we didn't get him on camera, but refreshingly very healthy in his post-competition career.
Yeah, I had breakfast with Ruli, so I got all the information. He's coming off of a shoulder surgery. It's been about 4 years since he competed on stage. He's expressed zero desire to get back on the bodybuilding stage. He's got a little kid back home, but he's very comfortable in his skin. He's exercising, he's not training, and his son is 25 years old, and he's trying to guide him into at least getting on a bodybuilding stage. He's a very good athlete, very good kid, and he wants to give him some direction, give him a starting chance. I think he's 26, 27 years old, but he's very comfortable. He had a very good career, Ruli did.
So we're now in the individual presentations for the men's physique.
Please welcome from Oman, Abdullah Al-Sharafi.
As you get a look at Abdullah Al-Sharafi, we talk about how popular this men's physique division here is in the Middle East and really in South Asia and North Africa, the general belt along the Mediterranean, Middle East, and into South Asia. So you do get a lot of competitors from this region and the extended region competing in this division.
From Kuwait, Al-Ansari.
local crowd favorite, Omi Ali. You know where we last saw him? We last saw him on United States soil at the 2023 Texas Pro. And we talk about some of the entertainers in this division and really in this sport. He is one of those. You can tell, walks out of the stage, little dance, big smile, a true crowd favorite here in Dubai. And certainly packs a lot of muscle on that frame.
Please welcome from Bahrain, Mahmoud El-Bakrawi.
we see Aaron Banks take the stage. Raucous ovation from the Dubai crowd. He's had this show planned for months and months, waited to make it official, and then making the big announcement and adding another dimension of star power to this lineup. And again, you see that $1 million smile up on that stage, playing to the crowd, this large, robust crowd here at the Dubai Pro. Sean Ray, what are you seeing out of the former Mr. Olympia champion? Former men's physique Olympia champion.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is the division I'm not all that familiar with, but he's been at the front of the pack since day one, so he's going to be in the hunt. I couldn't imagine him not being in one of the first call-outs. But again, the criteria for me has always been a little bit different than looking like that as a bodybuilder. I'm still learning this division myself, but this is a standout guy, and I'm sure he's going to be in that first call-out.
Thank you, Aaron.
A bow and a wave as Aaron Banks makes his way off stage to the former men's physique Olympia champion in 2022. Men's physique Olympia champion exiting the stage after his individual presentation. This is another one of the big names coming into this show, Sidi Pouye. That you think about the batch of competitors. You could go up against an Aaron Banks. This is one of the names that kept coming up. Sidi Pouye from France.
Please welcome from Iran, Yasser Razai. Please welcome from Romania, Sergiu Sebastian. Please welcome from the USA, Serge Victor. Please welcome from India, Lavish Wall.
We talk about the Middle East and the popularity of men's physique. Well, this competitor right here, Lavish Y from India, and you heard the ovation, the Indian fans here in the crowd. Very popular in his home country of India, competing at the Shrew Classic. Pro debut in 2022, turning pro at the Shrew Classic in 2019. But again, just underscores the popularity of this division in this greater Middle East, South Asia, North Africa region. And not only for the competitors, but for the fans as well. They absolutely get into the men's physique class.
From Ghana, Daniel Oti.
This is Daniel Oti, who turned pro actually earlier today. No, yesterday. Yesterday was the men's physique. The Gulf Regional portion of the men's physique NPC qualifier was yesterday. The Open was today. So Daniel Oti from Ghana qualifying yesterday. Sean, very apparent the razor sharp conditioning, billowing muscle in that.
Yeah, you rarely see that kind of condition on a men's physique guy, but he's lean, and when he poses, you see things that you'd only see on an anatomy chart. So he definitely came in condition. He's not as tall as some of the other guys are in this division, so it'll be interesting to see where he places.
It's our final individual presenter in the men's physique class, Ahmed Mandi.
All right, you see our individual presentations. We're going to have the entire lineup on stage at this time on the diagonals for the call-outs.
And now for the moment of truth here in the men's physique division,
On stage, please.
as we will have all 41 competitors make their way back out onto the stage. This very large stage, Sean. That's the other observation that a lot of the pros that we spoke to during the weigh-ins had, that this stage is freaking massive. And you know, we saw that in the 212s with the individual presentations, all the presenters getting 30 seconds, and they made an initial 1 or 2 steps out and realized, holy crap, this stage is huge. I gotta hurry up and get to the center of the stage to begin my routine.
Yeah, the physique guys have a little bit easier because they only have a couple of poses, whereas the bodybuilders realize that they actually have to get up there and hit a variety of poses within 30 seconds. So they have to account for that extra time. Hey, some of these athletes, they practice in front of a mirror for weeks on end, and then they get up here on stage and you only see them in 30 seconds. So it's good to have a big stage, have a lot of elbow room. The judges have a very easy time spotting you on this stage. It's not small, which most productions think small. But the Dubai Pro Show has a stage that rivals the Mr. Olympia, and everyone gets a very good look by the judges.
The judging panel, headlined by Steve Weinberger and IEPB Vice President Tyler Mannion. Tally up the scores. 41 men's physique competitors in this lineup.
All right, 38 competitors in place. Let's send it on to the judges. Big Steve.
Thank you, Rob. In numerical order, 72, 82, 84, 91, 96, 103, 104, and 113. '94 back. The 89.
So I'll read it off numerically. Kamal Aitirmoor, Carlos Okran, Aaron Banks, Anik Ghosh, Miroslav Jurasek, Abi Peters, Sidi Poye, a name that we said was going to be in the mix, and Ahmed Mandi, the final competitor, final individual presenter, who also qualified for pro status here this weekend.
103 and 91. 113 back. One 113 and 104. move up. Face front. Thank you, gentlemen, back on. $74, $79, $87, $88, $93, $94, $102, and $112. 97 back in line.
Yeah, I saw that.
78 back in line, 88 come up. 88. Youssef. $112. $87 and $102 switch. $112 and $88 switch. Right next to each other. Gentlemen, face the curtain. Relax, relax. Everyone on the line. Everyone spread out and on the line. Expediters trying to get some help here. Spread them out. Face front. $74 and $112 switch. Gentlemen, face the curtain. Thank you, gentlemen. Back in line, please. '81, '86, '90, '99, 100, 78, 101, 73, 73 and 89 switch. 73 and 89. 89 switch. You hold there. Gentlemen, face the curtain. Face front. $199 switch, right next to each other. Thank you, gentlemen. Back in line, please. '71, '75, '76, '80, '97, '107, '108. 76 to 71 switch. 76 to 71. 107 and 80 switch. 107 and 80. Gentlemen, face the curtain. Face front. face hurt. Face front. Thank you, gentlemen. Back in line. This concludes round one. Back to you, Bob.
All right, thank you, Big C. How did it go to your pro lineup? Your men's and classic physique. Coming up in just a few moments, we'll see our gentlemen back a little bit later in the program.
So that concludes the men's physique lineup.
We'll see who wins the title.
And coming up next will be classic physique.
In just a few moments, our men's classic physique lineup coming up in just a few minutes. And of course, the big boys will be coming up at the end of the show. Your men's bodybuilding open, $100,000 on the line.
You hear the loud roar for the classic physique division. A lot of excitement here. We're gonna have former two-time Classic Olympia champion Breon Angeli. You see him take stage in this first group, standing next to the man that many think may be his primary competition here in the form of Iran's Vahid Bonpei. And to help us break down this classic physique division, we are joined by the miracle bear himself, Urs Kalasinski. Urs, how you doing, my friend?
What's up, bodybuilding world out there? Today we are in Dubai. The Dubai Pro is going down, and we have a stacked classic physique lineup. So I'm super excited to be here. Super excited. We have Breon Angeli, 2-time winner. We have great athletes here. And yeah, we're here. Sean Ray, Sid, and Urs coming. Sharing the classic physique.
Breon Angeli, one of the most decorated classic physique Olympians in the division's short history. You've gotten a chance to work with him at Oxygen Gym. What have you seen working out with the champ?
Breon is just a class athlete. I mean, 2-time champ, he's 44, I guess, 44 years old, and still bringing his shit together. That's absolutely insane and super inspiring. So, yeah, great to have it on here.
How impressive is it? Breon Angeli, who's been competing since 2009, former 212er, has made his mark at the top of the classic physique Olympic stage, competing now in, I believe, his 12th year, and still able to bring this top four.
I just can say he's a real OG, a real classic physique OG, and he's definitely battling for the top spot today.
Boris Kalasinsky, who's been training out at Oxygen Gym in preparation. Now, are you going to be in Kuwait?
Now we have the competitiveness, so it's the peaking at the right time. The guys, there's so much depth in class physique,
Double bicep.
and there's so many good guys in class physique, and not everybody can do it. So I like the idea that we're bringing back the size, the shape, the definition, the presentation. This is what it's all about. So I kind of predicted that when it first started, that this was going to be the hot ticket, and now it's hot, especially here in Dubai.
Hundred percent.
How have your preparations been coming along? Obviously, you know, we talk about that top group, Bumstead, yourself, Ramon, and now you have to add Wesley Vissers in that mix. You can't count out Breon Ansley, but talk about yourself. What are some of the things that you're keying in on for your preparation for this upcoming Olympia?
I mean, my only big problem I had was always my age. I mean, Breon is 44, like you said. That's so much more years of training you can add on your physique, and it's all about the quality. And I think also Sean can tell us that over the years the quality is getting better and better with yourself. And I'm not a baby anymore, so now I got 26, and now it's time to show my real physique I can bring on stage. So we just had a good off season. The time after the Arnold Classic, I used a lot to work together with my coach Stefan and to make my physique better, improve the weak spots, and this prep until now is like one of the best I had. I mean, I stay in the camp, stay really locked in, like Jay always said. I lived in the box, and I'm living the dream right now, so I'm super excited for this year's Olympia. It's the 60th Olympia this year, so would be great to get the win home.
Double bicep.
As we get a look at our fourth group here, and you get a look at the four-time Olympian Danny Yunin in number 69. Danny Yunin, really one of the OGs in this classic physique division, back on the pro stage, four-time Olympian. We saw him place very well in 2018. What are you seeing out of Mr. Yunin training out of California?
It's super funny you mention him, because I started to look at him when I just started my career. I mean, I was like 16 or 17 years old in those days where classic really started to be a thing in the IFBB Pro League. So yeah, cool that like he and Breon's like still killing it, still keeping it going, and he definitely looks great. I'm also super impressed with the stage here at the Kuwait at the Dubai Pro. Yeah, Vada and the team put on a great show, and I'm super happy to be here today.
Sean Ray and I were joking about how large the stage is and how when the 212 competitors came out, they only had 30 seconds. So, you know, they're accustomed to coming out, slow walks, strut. All of a sudden they're realizing their time is running out. So eventually you started to have guys sprinting into the middle of the stage to get into the
I honestly had the same problem with my posing. At the first Olympia, I thought like when I trained my posing routine at home, I just walked like 5-6 meters, but then I saw the stage and was like, fuck, I need to walk much longer, way longer. So it's always good to see the stage as a competitor a day before the show, to see like, hey, okay, where can I walk in and how can I transit to my poses and stuff.
So we get a look at our first individual competitor, Masood Abdul Hai. And you know, Urs, we talk about popularity of this division in this region. A lot of Middle Eastern competitors, they gravitate towards classic. I think you heard the loud cheer once the competitors came out on stage. What is it about these Middle Eastern competitors that makes them so drawn to this classic division, so successful at it in terms of the physique?
I mean, just last week I talked with a lot of classic guys from Kuwait. They're all super proud to represent their country and the bodybuilding sport in the Middle East. And I think also the body types of like the Arabic countries, the Middle East countries, they really match into the classic physique. Yeah, they all got the abs, but also the legs, which are very important in the classic physique. And also the Vahid, the guy who's also like, in my opinion, battling it out between Rian and him today. He's also bringing a great quality, and that's what I see with those guys from over here. They all really have a great quality in the muscle, and that's really important. The detailed look in the classic physique, together with the beautiful line and the aesthetics, of course.
Yemi Adefoye on stage now. 33 competitors in this men's classic league lineup. Haidar Al Sarai.
One cool thing, Sid, is I see a lot of new talents here. New competitors, which remind me of myself. I mean, first time I came to the US was for the Tampa Pro back then, 3 years ago. And I won the show and we had so many like well-known competitors in. And I think maybe some of the very popular guys like a Brian, like a Vahid. I don't think they take it slow.
Charismatic, got a great physique, placed third just a couple of weeks ago at Euromuscle. This is one of the more popular classic physique competitors.
I just wanted to say it right now. The crowd is going super wild, and that's what I love. You know, be there if you are an athlete on stage and the crowd is going with you. That's one of the greatest feeling you can get. And he's definitely posing really confident. He's showing what he worked for, and I mean, great conditioning on this guy.
And you know, like you, he knows how to play to the crowd. You saw how the crowd received him, but you could tell up there he owns that stage, has that smile, has that swagger, the charisma, and that's the kind of stuff you love to see in this kind of a division, which lends itself to competitors expressing themselves and having.
Yeah, of course, because when you stay backstage, pump up, you never know what's gonna happen, and to have the crowd on your side cheering for you, supporting the whole bodybuilding game. whole classic physique lineup that give you just more motivation, more fun out on stage, and definitely the 5 times champ. And he's definitely the classic physique himself, I would say. But we also have like a Brian in the mix, and then we had like Urs in the mix, then we had like a Wesley in the mix, and then we have a Ramon in the mix, we definitely can't forget. So we have in the top 4, we have 4 different body types, which are all different, and so that's the one thing. It's hard to tell, and it's also hard for a competitor because we don't know. But I think if we get the best out of everyone, like everybody has his weaknesses and his strength, and if everybody brings them, it's definitely an ask of flavor, you know. Some guys like apples, some guys like bananas. I like them both, to be honest. But yeah, that's the cool thing about the classic as well. In the open, a lot of especially old guys always critique. They all look like more of the same, more bubbly, more round, distended guts. And here in classic, there is no place for this. But we have so many different, physiques on stage. So it's cool to see. It reminds me oftentimes of those back in the days Mr. Olympia competitions like in 80, 83, Samir Banu. You had those guys on stage and they all looked different, but at the end of the day somebody won, and I'm happy with the evolution of the sport. I mean, also in classic we have Danny Hester, the first time Olympia champ. Then we got Brian and Chris. I mean, all of them look different, and I'm super excited what's gonna, or how their future are gonna look like.
Well, let me ask you this. I mean, again, as you prep and you look at what's ahead of you, who else figures to be at your stiffest competition, your game plan, is it conditioning? Is it size? Is there a happy balance between the two that you can realistically attain over the course of your off-season and during the course of the next 10 weeks leading into the Olympia?
It's so funny because also last week I talked with those guys in the Oxygen gym, and they all said like, bro, we need those glutes striated because since you're on that stage, we need to have that striated glutes. So that was a trademark I have probably brought to the classic physique, but that's a point I can definitely tell it's super important to have conditioning because the weight limit is there and a lot of guys are even bigger.
Truly one of the most inspirational bodybuilders. They call him Bionic Body. Edgar John Augustine, the real name. And again, you see the admiration that the fans here. This is truly one of the best parts of bodybuilding, of the opportunity that it gives an athlete.
I mean, the only guy who can rock the Jordans on stage, huh? But no, Edward or Bionic is such a, not a great athlete, even better human, I would say. He's so friendly. I remember I did a guest posing on his show in France 2 years ago, and he and his family are just so good people. Right now he lives here in Dubai, and he's doing great for the sport overall. And he never gives up. I mean, he's competing, I think it's his 5th show he's competing in this season, and he's on stage every season, so it's super cool to see.
You know, or as we get a look at Paul Canu on stage, you heard the loud crowd. I mean, look behind you. This is, for a non-Olympia Arnold Classic show, this has to be one of the biggest audience, one of the biggest crowds of the IFBB Pro calendar.
Sid, that's so crazy. I came here this morning and looked at the crowd and I was like, wow. I mean, that's like really crazy, and it's almost Olympia standard, I would say. And crowd, like I said, it's crazy just here in Dubai.
An incredible crowd here. And again, you see the level of excitement here for pro bodybuilding in Dubai, and not only Dubai, but just the region that gets to send pro athletes here. Again, we talk about how accessible Dubai is to visit, to come compete at. Or is this a show that you would put on your contest calendar for next year? Is this going to be part of the plan?
100%, baby. 100%. You know, I did the Kuwait Pro in 2022, and I first time saw this also amazing crowd at this competition. And I'm not from Kuwait, I'm not from the Middle East, but they were so warm-hearted and so welcoming. I came on the stage and they all cheered for me. The crowd was wild back then, and I mean, we talk about 2022, and the evolution of this is just insane. So I think next year this one's gonna be even bigger, and I think it's gonna be not 60,000 euros, $60,000 for the champ. It's gonna be, rumors said, 100. So definitely a show you don't want to miss as an athlete and as a spectator.
As we see Turkey's Sedat Kaya on stage. You know, you mentioned the reception that you've received in Kuwait, here in Dubai. And that is another thing that, and I don't know what it's like in Germany, but you know, in the United States and Canada, let's face it, bodybuilding is a very fringe sport. It's not a mainstream sport. You know, if you were to walk, you as a bodybuilder could walk the streets in the United States, you might get recognized 1 out of 20 people. Here in the Middle East, you see there's another level of appreciation for the sport of bodybuilding and for bodybuilders. It's a different perspective that they have, you know, on someone that gets in the gym and competes or whatever. You know, talk to us about, like, the day-to-day interaction that you've had with some of these bodybuilding fans that when they see you, you know, again, they're inspired by you and they respect who you are as a bodybuilder.
It's so cool to see, Sid, because we went to the mall one day and there came like 5 or 10 between 8 and 11-year-old kids to me and said like, hey, you're the bodybuilder and it's so cool what you're doing. And that's a great direction, you know, for the sport, because you get the kids from the streets, in the gyms, doing this amazing sport, working on the discipline, working on their own abilities and to how to improve their lives. And it's just so great to see and an honor to be a representative of this sport. I also would love to get this crowd in Germany and in Europe, what I represent worldwide. So, but we're in a good spot. We're in a good spot, definitely. Also in Europe, we get in bigger, and the whole bodybuilding crew worldwide is growing. Here we have a next athlete, Abu Konate from the UK, coached by Boss of Outlaws, Stefan Kienze, same coach as I am in the team. And this guy, I just heard he had to make like 6 kgs in the last 3 days to make the weight. It's also a struggle for him, but he always shows up and approves it.
Biggest thing that stands out about him is the sheer density of muscle that he packs on that frame, which is not very typical for a classic physique competitor. He brings that, you know, kind of reminds me in a sense of the late George Peterson in terms of that density that he packs on this.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, for me, he's one guy, he could do a lot of damage in the open class if you would let him grow. But I think the future is definitely bright for him and gets a lot of support and doing a great job for the bodybuilding sport in England.
As we get a look at Mohammad Murshid out of Iraq. So glad you could join us on the Oxygen platform. Sadiq Faruqi, Oris Kalasinski, and the legend Sean Ray. Oris about 10 weeks out from stepping stage on the Olympia stage, on the Classic Physique Olympia stage. Ors, how excited are you about the fact that, again, we're going to have the 60th year anniversary of the Olympia? The show's back in Vegas, going to be all sorts of pomp and circumstance surrounding this Olympia.
Yeah, Vegas, baby. That's all I can say. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, and it's definitely for every bodybuilding spectator, for every fan in this world. It's definitely worth it to come over to the beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, and watch one of the Mr. Olympia editions. Like you said, this year the 60th one, so a little bit extra special, and I'm super excited for it.
Get a look at Charles Michael Anya. Valentin Petrov, another one of the highly anticipated names coming into this competition. We last saw him back in May on the stage at the New York Pro, competing at the 2022 Olympia. He won the IABB Southwest Muscle Classic Pro back in 2022, earning his Olympia qualification. Also had impressive finishes at that same year at the Texas Pro and at the Tampa Pro, third at the Tampa Pro, second at the Texas Pro. Turned pro in 2021 at the NPC Worldwide Arnold Amateur. What are you seeing out of the Bulgarian Valentin Petrov, another one of the ballyhooed names?
Great guy, definitely. Could still be a little bit harder, but he has a great line, great flow, and a good posing. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Denis Romanov, also another guy from Russia, I think. He always is a long-time competitor. He always goes to a lot of shows and present himself, so looks like he has fun on stage, presenting the classic mustache on stage, but great physique.
He seems to have the classic lines. We have that term, the classic lines when it comes to classic physique. He might not have the size to stand in against some of the top guys in this competition, but again, when you think about classic physique and the aesthetics, classic lines is one of those, part of the criteria, and he certainly has that in full display.
From Iran, Ali Shansar.
Now, the country of Iran, and they're very serious when it comes to bodybuilding, very serious when it comes to classic physique. This is a name that they've been talking about for quite some time, Ali Shamshamgar. Obviously, Vahid Badpe right now, he built #1 as far as Iranian classic physique competitors. But this guy right here, Ali Shamshamgar, brings the conditioning.
Yeah, good conditioning always shows me that they're working hard, because everybody can reach a great conditioning, but that is just hard work. Hard dieting, those ugly dates where not everybody's made for this kind of conditioning. And that also tells me a lot of the country. I mean, Iran, they're all super proud, all super respectful. Also want to bring it home. We all saw those videos after Olympia when Hardy came back. I mean, he was the superstar in the country. And yeah.
Thank you, sir.
great conditioning also from the back.
Please welcome from Brazil, Julio Simões.
So Julio Simões out of Brazil. And Urs, I'll just ask you, the tattoos. As a competitor, do your eyes go immediately to that, and put yourself in the heads of the judges? Do their eyes go straight to the tattoo?
For me, honestly, for me personally, it's a no-go because I always see my body like a sculpture, like an artist, his art, and you don't want to sprinkle color on your art. So tattoos are great, but I try to stay tattoo-free until the end of my career. But this guy not only has tattoos, he also has a crazy striated glute. And I mean, maybe he has some tattoos, but he also has the conditioning. So
Please welcome from Iran.
we can say it's okay.
Let's get another look at another Iranian competitor, Omid Soleimani Gharudi. Iran well represented here at the Dubai Pro. Another one of these Iranian competitors that brings that rock solid level, tightness, conditioning.
Please welcome from the United Kingdom, Robert Waterhouse.
So you get a look at Bob Waterhouse. Now his name is Robert. I call him Bob. He's listed as Robert. It's all good. He turned pro back in 2020. 2 top 3 finishes last year in Tampa and Vancouver. And there he is, Danny Yunin, 4-time Classic Physique Olympian. And Urs, you were talking about the early stages of your career coming up and seeing this man right here on those Olympian stage.
Yeah, I mean, not only him, also guys like Sadiq, also guys like Brian, also guys like Chris. That was the real first edition of Classic Physique back then. And I'm honestly proud to be also first generation Classic Physique competitor. And cool to see him back on stage. Brings a great package on stage. And today we're gonna see if they can also stick with the deep lineups nowadays. I mean, like I said, the sport involves crazy. And to see if some of the old guys can bring it, it's just insane. Also in men's physique, for example, we saw Jeremy Buendia, 4 times champ, came to the Olympia and looked phenomenal, but didn't make it for the first spot. So there you can see in every class, also in classes with a weight limit, the athletes just improve and improve. Also, guys like Chris, they're on their weight limits the last 4 years, but they always change their body. They always get better, get more density in, get more quality in the muscle, and that's great to see. Here we see a guy from Kuwait. He also trains in the Oxygen gym right now on stage. He's always super funny, He always in a good mood. You come in the gym in the morning, he's on the stairs, just working his ass off, and that's what I love to see. He just keeps the smile, loves what he's doing, is thankful, and appreciates the whole life.
That is one of the aspects of this culture that you have here in the Middle East when you talk about cardio, suffering. To them, it's nothing. You know, they go up there, they're happily doing their cardio. What was that like when you witnessed it on?
Brother, to make weight in the classic physique, you need to be halfway crazy because that's definitely not easy to achieve. I mean, you have to starve yourself down, especially the last week. No drinking, no eating, and salt baths, saunas, and I mean, I know what Brian did to make the weight and still keep the smile on, so that's what makes me really happy, and just shows how hard of a also mindset do you have to be in this class, be in this category. Maybe it looks like easier to achievable for most of the society, but I can tell you one thing, it's super hard, and super hard to get in there.
I have to ask you, what is Oris Kalasinski's go-to cardio?
Right now we have those 31 minutes a day, so all easy right now.
Are we talking stairs? Are we talking treadmill?
I prefer the bike, but here and there I also go on the stairs, especially if the glutes need to come in. So now we get all the athletes on stage, and I'm super happy to see all of them, and let's see who's gonna make it to the first call out.
So the moment of truth, as the judging panel tallies up the scores, 33 competitors in this classic physique lineup.
All right, our gentlemen, please, let's send it out to the judges. 60.
Thank you, Bob. 44, 46, 47, 49, 60, 65.
So in numerical order, Abdullah Al-Rabia, and you heard the loud ovation for him, Brian Ansley, Vahid Badpe, Khaled Al-Nahawi, Mohamed Murshid, and Julio Simoes out of Brazil. Here we go. What do you make of this first call out?
47 and 49.
Great first call out, and like we said,
46 and 44.
we have the people's champ here, number 44. We have two times Olympia champ, Brian Ansley. We have Wahid in there, and we have three more guys. This one makes me exciting. I wanna rip off my clothes and jump on that stage right away, to be honest. Sean, what's your opinion about this first call out here at the Dubai Pro Show?
It certainly looks favorable for Brian, who's standing out in this lineup. He's actually got some thick legs. He's got some size on his legs by comparison to some of the other guys, but his color looks really good too with the oil. I'm partial towards Brian. He looks a combination of classic and bodybuilder. Some of these guys have skinnier, slender legs. But Brian's got those full round biceps, the rip, you know, the vacuum. His quads. He looks really good in this lineup. I wouldn't be surprised if he's the last man standing.
Back double bicep.
And no surprise here, Breon Ansley and Vahid Badpe square in the middle of this first call-out. What are you seeing between the veteran and Breon Ansley and Vahid Badpe, both Olympia qualified?
Like you mentioned before, Vahid definitely inside out peeled, brings the conditioning. Breon with a good conditioning, not as hard as Vahid is, but with the round muscle bellies. Great legs this time, to be honest, because we always criticize Breon's legs a little bit because they was lagging, but today he definitely brought them up, and it's a great battle. I think those two guys are the last man standing here today.
You know, again, this one-on-one harkens back to the conversation we just had as far as the different varying physiques of classic physique. Breon definitely packs more density. Vahid might be a little sharper in terms of the conditioning. What is the tiebreaker in this kind of a scenario, in your opinion?
It's hard to tell because, like I said, it's apples and bananas a little bit, and both of them look great. For me, Breon is a little bit better this time, honestly. So yeah, he definitely looks like the last man standing for me.
What impressed you most about what you saw out of Breon Ansley as for as long as you've seen him compete, as the first call-out takes their way back onto the line? What impressed you most out of what you saw out of Breon?
Today, it definitely impressed me the most how he brought up his legs and looked better than the previous competitions he took place. And also the overall like flow in his posing. It's just like nailed in, and I know he's training a lot, also with the posing and with the camp Comir, with the man behind me. He's giving him big impacts and always bring a better, improved package. Love it to see.
50 and 56.
Chris Cormier talks very proudly about the work he's done with Breon and the work that he's put Breon through, but you could just tell the master command that he has of his posing, stage presence. And look, let's get Chris in here. Chris Cormier, we were just talking about Breon's mastery, his command up there in terms of his posing, in terms of his overall stage presentation, and the way that it's evolved over the years. What impressed you most about what you just saw out of him?
And question from me, what the fuck have you did with his legs? They're growing up crazy.
No, you know, he had an extra day to carve up today. They weighed in at 185, and he's at least 191 and 192 right now. But he filled up. But yeah, I mean, he has improved his abs over the years. When we first started training, he didn't really have the abs that he has now. And I was just telling you yesterday, I'm really proud of him, but keep working at it, keep refining, and hopefully, you know, he can keep improving and have a type of career like Dexter Jackson had.
Urs and I were just talking about the fact that what's so impressive about Breon is that he's been competing now for the better part 11, 12 years now, and his ability to constantly evolve his physique, evolve his presentation. You, as someone who's been around him for the better part of a decade now, what impresses you most about the evolution of Breon Ansley?
Before the man replies, I need to say Chris, like I said in my video on YouTube before, he's one of the guys. He's like with the athletes. He knows what's up. So big credits to the legend Chris Cormier. He works with us guys. I spend a week with him in the gym. He stays there day and night. Goes to the restaurant with us. Really cares about everything, and just don't put his name on. So I always gonna mention his name for him because he's not doing it. So I'm gonna do the media work for you, brother. But that's great to have those old school guys. He's one of the. There are not many guys there like him, and teach us young guys how we can improve. And yeah, he's really with us, and that's what I want to appreciate, and thank you, brother.
Thank you, man. You're going to make me cry over here, man. Come on. No, but you know, I just try to put my experience in these guys. The next generation means a lot to me to do that, and I'm willing to go out here and work with them, cardio with them, in the posing room with them, the massage table with them, everything. I'm doing it, working with them, sometimes working in with the poses with them. So yeah, I'm just really impressed with like you say, he keep really inventing himself, and he's on. He could take that shirt off all year round, this guy, and he's smiling with no carbohydrates for weeks on end. I don't know too many people like that, so I'm really proud of this guy.
You know what? Talking about taking shirts off, Dave Palumbo, Jimmy Mentis, we're talking about, and John Romano, we're talking about you back in the day. Back in the day, Chris Cormier couldn't keep his shirt on anywhere. Go into a club, take your shirt off. Walk down the street, take your shirt off. So now you're trying to pass that on to Breon.
I love that aspect because, hey, a lot of those guys, they train the whole year, don't take the shirts off just once in a year. And for me, that's like experience, that's training. You go to the nightclub, put the shirt up, and then you also need to present your body. So he knew definitely what was going on back in the day.
So hold on a second. So the breakdancing is not just for the Classic with the Olympia stage. Urs Kalsinski does that in the nightclubs as well.
Bro, you need to should join us, the nightclub, I would say. And then we take Sid for a good old rave.
But again, talking about what we saw seen in terms of the evolution of Breon, how have you seen him grow in terms of a bodybuilder, but really what you've seen in terms of this latest version of his physique?
I think it's just a testament of his hard work. Not willing, he never backed down for anything I throw at him, and I'm on him pretty hard, and I feel like, you know, this guy needs to be, you know, promoted more in the sport. He has his hair, he's 44 years old. I mean, how many people have their hair like that at 44 years old? You gotta give this guy a round of applause. Give him his flowers now while he can still appreciate it.
Well, I mean, that is genetics as well, that many people would kill for. But, you know, Breon's such a well-rounded individual. Urs just took his hat off to show off his hair. Unbelievable.
Mid-20s guy.
Exactly. Must be nice. But Breon, you know, again, you talk about this, and this is a very important aspect of what you just said. Promoting the athletes, promoting the stars of the sport, right? Not only a bodybuilder, he's an actor as well, a very talented one at that. You have someone like Urs, right? I mean, again, the element that he brings to the sport, you know, not only as a great, you know, classic physique competitor, but as a personality, as a dancer. Again, you're bringing something fun and exciting to the Olympia stage.
And I think that's important. That's something I was working on, you know, as I was coming up, as a shy competitor. I had to throw myself out there, and I had to get out there and just dance and do stuff that I wasn't really comfortable with. But I think it was all a part of the showmanship of bodybuilding, and go out there and perform and give the crowd a good show.
You're getting a look at the third call out here in the Classic Physique. Chris Cormier, we'll have you back here for the men's open, so don't go too far.
Okay. All right.